What a fun week in book world. From zombies to celebrate the release of Little Sleepwalkers, which is now out in paperback, to a challenge that I gave to my exclusive authors to try something new that turned into Erin joining this rock group. It's a local group where you hide rocks all over the place, and people find them. There are all kinds of groups on Facebook for this. Like, it's everywhere. I'm probably joining the craze late as usual, but whatever, so much fun. I made a whole bunch of rocks with my author website, with Crazy Ink's author website, and got a couple of book orders already off of that little shindig of a marketing plan. So yeah, I'll try anything for sure. I will post a little bit of that with this. You've probably already seen it. I probably posted it before I put this one in. Either way, it's been a fun week. I've done a lot of those kind of crafty projects. I have been able to get out quite a bit just to get a change of scenery. I'm still not in the office all day, kind of working type mode right now. I'm still kind of, where am I at as far as schedule, and it's just taking me forever to get used to this new world. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that whether it's book world or therapy world or freelance world, 90% of the people that I work with are still screwed up. So they don't really have their schedules kind of totally there yet either. So it's sort of like every day is a new adventure, and I'm kind of winging it. I've had authors that I haven't seen in years show back up, submitting books to Crazy Ink, offer all kinds of help. That's been awesome. One of those authors being Sarah, who I just finished a book with, Midnight Kiss. Also awesome. I'm trying to write really fast. One, because it keeps me occupied and busy, and it certainly can't hurt. And two, to fill the holes of authors who have just stopped writing due to COVID and, all these things that are going on in the world. So I'm doing what I can to fill those gaps and holes so that we don't run into a major problem financially in 6 months because there are no books, which is sort of where we're headed if I don't do this. So I'm doing it, which is, on one end frustrating, but on another end, I'll be so glad that I did it. Hey, building that backlist, I'm not kidding about that. And it really has gone well, and it's been painless because of the people that I've co-written with. Rena Marin being one of them, who is just quick and fun to write with, all of that. So I'm doing a lot of that. I'm excited about older authors coming back that have been quietly writing a ton of words. So there's actually several books that will come to Crazy Ink because of that. So that's exciting, and that's going to help significantly when it comes to holes that we have. In the meantime, I have spent every second that I possibly can working on Crazy Ink's upcoming Entwined anthology, Murder Maker. I don't even have words for this book. It's just a cool book. Several exclusive authors and Tiffany Carby from Crazy Ink all got together, and we are writing an anthology about a famous author. Basically, it's modeled on Stephen King. I mean, the guy even lives in Maine. But regardless, he's a famous horror author that is dying. And he has no one to leave his life's work, legacy, estate, and a big pile of whips to. So each of the authors participating in this, and there are 5, and then there's me, so there's 6 total, but 5, has been, quote, chosen to come to this horror author's estate and participate in a 6-week workshop, during which time he's going to choose a final winner who will inherit everything, basically. And that author will need to be able to sort of carry on his life's work, and kind of be handed the fast-forward shortcut of a lifetime. Sounds wonderful, except the hook is that, of course, these authors now have to sign all these disparagement and non-disclosure forms and all of that. But the hook is this: one of them must die, because Lee Matthews, the author, the Stephen King type dude, believes that in order to write good horror, you have to have first-hand experience with true gore and murder and the smell of a rotting body and all these things. So these authors are showing up to his estate not knowing, or these characters, but authors at the same time, because the actual authors don't know who's going to die either. Frankly, I don't know who's going to die. I sort of had a plan going into this, and it, as usual, and things always do at Crazy Inc., got entirely derailed. This book, I have read all of the stories that were submitted. Each character is so different, but because the contributions to the anthology were literally their backstories, the characterization is intentionally super, super rich, which is giving me these 5 characters to work with that are really well built. I'm going to be sad to kill one of them. I'm also going to be sad to hand over Lee's life work to one of them, because that author, should they accept, will be responsible for the next Murder Maker anthology, and sort of doing the work that I'm doing now, writing as Lee Matthews, the Stephen King guy, of piecing together these stories. I have 2 full notebooks of notes, because obviously, it's entwined, so you need to pull the stories that you didn't write into one book so that it reads as one fluid book. And it's happening. Yes, it's a ton of work, but it's so worth it. I'm really having fun with this. I have a feeling this one's going to take me months, but that's okay. Right now I've got a co-write I'm working on with Rena called Cat Doll. I've got another, and that one is actually a tribute to Samantha Taurico, who Dolls for Days you will see on the backstory if you go to my playlist, and is a Crazy Inc. editor. And then the other one I just kind of started talking about is called Simon Says, with Sarah, part of our games series. And that, like they always are with Sarah, will be sort of a game-based thriller. And then I'm still nipping away at The Hell with Russia. My readers really are looking forward to that book, but there have been new developments with the real-life person that story is based on, so that's making me wonder how I'm going to address them in the book. I never write to viciously hurt anyone, and some of this book could do that, so I have to rethink what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. I also have to be careful legally, so there's a lot of thought going into that, and that book may stay on hold, which will probably get me torched. They're going to freak out, so I'm not real excited to announce that, but it is what it is. I can't blatantly, I have to be smart about how I handle this for the sake of innocent parties involved, and that's what I'm going to do. So that's going to be fascinating, but fortunately, I have so many books coming right now. It's insane. Shrinking Sin is now done. I would say I've got 20 books that are just in paperback or currently tied up in box sets and anthologies that will be released in paperback within the next 6 to 8 months. So based on that, I'm hoping to keep them distracted. It will never work, but I can hope. So yeah, it's been a crazy week. I think I got 19 or 20,000 words this week. I mean, a huge chunk of words. So that's great. And again, a lot of that was born out of necessity, not necessarily my muse. And people ask me all the time, how do you write this much? How do you write this fast? And this is a great example of it. It is literally just a choice. I absolutely make myself write even when I don't want to write. I look at it as exactly like an athlete who goes to the gym every day. I raised two of those. One is more hardcore than the other. And I can tell you that even though he loves the gym, he probably only wants to be there 3 days a week, and he's actually there 6. Same exact concept. I'm the same way with writing. I think ideally if I could write when I felt like it, I would feel like it 2 days a week maybe. Instead I write 7, and I don't sleep until I feel like I've made some actual dents. So that's how I do it. I don't know that that's the right way. I know that's the way for me. I know that for other people that's overwhelming. I also know that for the first few years that I tried to do this, I ended up throwing away more than I kept. But because I've been writing for so long at this point, 90% of what I write, even when I'm not in the mood to write, is savable. Is it great? No. But it's fixable. It's never great, the first draft. Sometimes it's not great, period, ever. But savable. All right. I gotta go run into a corona situation. It should be fun. I will record more and talk to you guys soon. Bye. Adulting is the worst. My kid just called me from Maine. He's trying to transfer his everything over, like license, registration, all that stuff. Can't find his birth certificate, which, I only gave to him and told him, do not lose this. Anyway, whatever. And I'm sort of in the same boat today with 3 million errands that cannot be prevented, and because of COVID, everything's harder. Things are closed. It's the same exact thing like with the authors. So this has been a wild day already, but hey, it is what it is. I'm getting it done, and my therapy for this, after a good kayak, is going to be to work on that murder maker. I am so not sure how I'm going to handle this book. So much for a well-laid plan. The author surprised me in a great way, but definitely the clear winner, so to speak, is not the clear winner. The clear kill, there is no clear kill, really. I mean, there is, but it would be too obvious because it would just be obvious. So, yeah, I'm going to play with this one. I may actually flip a coin, literally, and say, all right, you're trapped into this. This is your winner, this is your loser, now write the book. That may probably be how I do this. But we'll see. Sometimes, any authors out there, you guys know, you write the thing, and as you go, the characters tell you, yeah, you're not doing it like this. You're doing it like this instead. And so, that could be what happens. I could find out that I don't really have a say in this book, which would be kind of fun. I've even thought about bringing in another author without telling anyone and getting their perspective as far as having them write some on this. But I also don't know that I want to complicate it. It's already 400 pages, this book. So yeah, it's not a little feat here. But honestly, I think it's going to be one of my favorite books ever. It's just really been a treat, and most of the authors are super engaged. They're excited about this too, so that helps a lot when you have a group of people that are excited about a project that it makes you excited about it. And so yeah, that is going to be my plan. I'm going to give myself a month of working on that every night, and then I'll put it away for a little while, reread it from start to finish, because I know I'm going to miss stuff. When you didn't invent the original characters, I think it's a little bit harder than when you have them in your mind. One good thing and a tip that I used, or a trick that I used, that I would offer as a tip to people who are working on entwined anthologies. This is something that I did when I was in the Sirens Lullaby anthology with Fractured Tales anthologies, I think is what they were called. But regardless, Rebecca Weeks had a series of anthologies for a while before she closed, and there was one called Sirens Lullaby. And that one, what we did is we all put up stock photos of what our character looked like. And that was really helpful because we were able to describe each other's characters without having to see into each other's heads, you know. And that's kind of what I figured, let's do that here as well. Granted, they didn't need to know what each other looked like because their characters are all on their way to this murder workshop. But I needed to know what they looked like. Instead of having them, you know, do the extra work of, okay, now I need you to give me a separate piece of paper where you blatantly describe your character from head to toe. Sometimes a picture does that job. And I think with this book, there will be special formats. I think I'm going to run the actual stock images of those characters in the book because it is not going to be divided into chapters. So I need other ways to divide this book up that aren't chapters. I think there will be graphics. There will be some really fancy formatting. A lot of, you know, scene breaks, obviously. And a little bit of playing with fonts. Super excited about this. You guys are going to love it. So yeah, that's the rest of this week. And, you know, we're winding down now slowly. I think we have 4 more books with the Candy Shop series. And then we head right into Statesman and then right into the Sex Shop. So things are hopping as always. I may even be able to take some of these authors who've sort of made a return and throw them into shop series books, depending on where there are holes. It's really rough when holes come up in these series. It just, you know, you want to have it full and keep readers interested and know that they can expect a book every day. But here and there, when authors flake, there's nothing you can do. You know, we had an author who lost her pre-order and, you know, oh, Amazon is horrible. I lost my pre-order. I've been hearing this for 8 weeks, and every time it makes me like, what is going on in Amazon? And then every time I get to the bottom of it and find out Amazon didn't take away your pre-order. You didn't upload your file. So, you know, take accountability, guys. If you can't up your file 3 days before upload your file, 3 days before release, you should lose your pre-order. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's just the way it is. There are deadlines for a reason, and even Amazon, who I generally don't love, has deadlines. They have a job to do on their end as well. So, I mean, they're all getting their pre-order privileges restored because of COVID, but honestly, I wouldn't blame Amazon if they said, nope, here's the year rule, slap down. Like, you got to take it more serious than that. And yeah, Crazy Ink will not lose pre-order unless something, you know, different was why people were losing pre-order, but it isn't. I'm watching list aiming box sets lose pre-order, and my eyes pop open like, who the hell was in charge? But yeah, that's a vent and a rant for another day. Anyway, that's not going to happen here, and I'm hoping that, you know, that kind of thing with the cross-promotional series will become less and less, because as authors do those things, they aren't able to stay in the series. It's just not, it's not okay. Like, it screws up everyone because they didn't do their job. So what it means is that it will make room for either new or new to the series authors that won't mess up those pre-orders and that will show up and that will cross-promote, which is really the point of a cross-promotional series. So that's actually a blessing in disguise, even though it sucks when it happens. It really is a blessing that we, as each shop goes forward, we will have stronger and more dependable, reliable authors who aren't blaming Amazon, who are just doing their job on time and making those deadlines, you know. I don't know. All right. Anyway, that is my week. That is my future of the month, I think. Honestly, those are the books I'll be working on, and I don't see many more. But that seems like enough. I hope you guys are doing well. I would love to hear what you're working on. I know somebody is working on a writing contest, which I always think those are super exciting. I'm such a nerd. I write down the date that they're going to announce the winners, and then I go and check. Granted, I never win, so I don't really know why I do this. Self-torture, maybe. But I think they're a lot of fun, writing contests. And it's something I used to do a lot of. I probably do 3 or 4 a year now. One, because most of them have crazy fees, and I just don't want to spend the money. But 2, it's a time thing. I've got to put my time and energy into Crazy Ink, and then my own releases. I don't have the time that I used to, which is too bad. But things change, and that may change as well. So, all right, guys, I am off. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy writing, happy reading, happy everything, and happy going back to working. Stay safe, and please give this video a like. I know you guys are watching it. I get comments, I get PMs and all that. But in order for YouTube to share it around and do anything with math, which is kind of obscenely impossible with only 100 subscribers anyways, but it does help. It bumps that math, the slightest bit. And someday, in 2089, YouTube will show my video. Okay, guys, have a great day. Bye.
Diet.